I've actually had a good last 48 hours too. I know some of you guys saw my video with Donnie Miller, but yeah, we went to the Alamo Cave and then ventured at the nuke silos and put together a pretty special video. And he took a look at my equipment, and it's been kind of lacking. You know, I have a GoPro Hero 3 Plus, and it's falling apart, and it overheated while we were out there. And he mentioned in his video that I just need a little help, and his whole family, the Standing Goats Rescue, has helped me so much over the past few days that I'm going to be able to get some new gear, and someone's actually sending me a drone in the mail. So I'm so excited. So
isn't it awesome?
It's amazing how the internet can, you know, connect you with real life possibilities, and it's super cool. And the walking legend down there, dude, keep on trucking. Don't let any kind of speed bump get in the way. Keep your mission.
Damn straight. And guys, remember, you know, Bigfoot's got an awesome channel and all that. A lot of awesome Bigfoot content. And like I said, and if for whatever reason, I don't know, somehow you forget his channel, you can also go to my Reddit page, because I always put their videos also on my Reddit page. You can see right here, there's Bigfoot and Donnie.
Yes.
You know, and then I have like here's actually a Bigfoot video right here that we're going to get into. You know, UFOs. I mean, you name it. There's another one, road trip with Hidden Relief.
Happy birthday, Tristan. You know, he's been a veteran of the Gypsy Road show before. He was on a Matrix episode, and I'm pretty sure one about some slashers. But he went on a road trip to the Florida Bigfoot Conference with me a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of did a recap in a cave before we went and saw M. Night Shyamalan's Old. So it's a combination of like 9 different horror aspects. So it's really cool. But he chops it up really well, and he actually saw Bigfoot for the first time in his life in the Green Swamp. And Tim T in Florida actually did an upload and a breakdown yesterday of our expedition. And
that's not good.
Got multiple Sasquatches on camera.
MRE, love. I did have to have 4 IVs in me as I ate some bad cheese packets. Oh man, cheese packets, and you had to get 4 IVs in you. Oh man,
that sounds horrible. I know a little bit about MREs though. After Hurricane Michael, we all were living on MREs and then free groceries from the church. It's crazy how the communities come together, but it was still like the hardest times ever.
No, there's a lot of good communities out there. I mean, of course, in every community, you always got a few bad apples. You know, you always got a few people that, for whatever reason, you know what I'm talking about. There are some people that think they're better than you, so they don't even talk to you. Or I don't know if you've seen this yet, Bigfoot. I've seen this a lot, where I used to have some people come on the show, and some people hit it huge, and they hit it huge, and it seems like some of these people who hit it huge, they forget about you. It's like I don't know. I'm not saying they're using you, but you know, once they hit a certain number, you know, they're gone. It's like it's not about the community no more. It's about themselves. And what people need to understand is communities need to stick together. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, we're always fighting against the system. I mean, like I said it earlier in the show. When you come out and talk about Bigfoot, aliens, or whatever, people look down on you. And it takes a lot of guts to come on social media to talk about this, because, you know, majority of the people look down on you. But I'm going to show you guys one of the things that attracted me towards that man, towards Bigfoot, is he's just not Bigfoot. I mean, Connor just not saying things. He's actually doing things. I mean, he's actually out there. I mean, look at this video. I mean, you're in a kayak.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That was one of the craziest days, man. Stay tuned to my YouTube. Yes, thank you. I had some crazy discoveries at the end of my trip, and we'll just say, you know, it's illegal in Florida. I recovered some very cool artifacts, and I can't wait to show them off in the videos. but it's just for entertainment purposes only, for legal reasons. I have to say that.
Well, yeah. I mean, my show's category as entertainment.
But yeah, I'm kayaking down the Chipola River. So there's tons of alligators, tons of poisonous snakes, and of course, Sasquatch. And I was pretty nervous because I was kayaking alone, and anything can really happen. And I'm on an inflatable kayak, so of course an alligator will destroy me pretty quickly. But it was a blast. It was really flooded, so I didn't get to enjoy the Look and Tremble Rapids. The last like quarter mile of this stretch is an actually like class 2 rapids on its best day. It's pretty mild, but still it's pretty cool. But since it's flooded, you don't even get to, go over the rocks. It's so high up. But I don't know if you saw my video from a couple days before that when I jumped off the Willis Bridge. The Willis Bridge in Surprise one. It was really funny because my mom was filming, and because she picked me up, I parked where I had to. Well, no, I rode with her. Usually you have to park one spot and then pick up at another, but she dropped me off. She went fishing.
Is this it right here?
Yeah, and it's towards the end. I tell some history about the old bridge, which is actually like right across, and it's like broken down now. But yeah, at the end, I jump off, and I didn't tell my mom that I was going to jump off, and I was planning it for a while now. So it's kind of funny just to give her a little bit of heart attack. But I planned on doing a front flip, and I was scared of hitting my head, so I kind of just hit like a weak tumble, but it was still pretty funny.
In this video here, do you jump off?
Yeah, I jump off. It's towards the end.
Let's check it out.
You can just fast forward like halfway if you want. And you can see my mom's hand on the corner of the camera. I'm going to have a talk with her with that. All my cameramen are great, though. But yeah, I take my glasses right there. Yeah. And I'm 6 feet tall, so that's probably like 18 feet. It's not that high, but it was pretty cool. And the water was, I'll see. The water was pretty flooded, so I knew I was pretty safe, other than just jumping on a log or an alligator. So I had to. I looked back just for a second just to make sure I wasn't going to break my legs on a log. But it was really funny because I just wanted to give my mom a little bit of a heart attack. And she was worried about my glasses. And I took those off, of course.
Let's see here. Ego runs a lot of people. Yes, they do. They really do. Back in the day, Bigfoot and Native American tribes used to be way more closer than now since the Bigfoot helped Indians sowing seeds and building homes.
Yep.
I see that. I do not do alligators. They are huge here. Florida Golf Park is the alligator movie crushing Cadillac. Yeah, that's why. I mean, if I'm wrong, that's why they kind of have to have alligator hunting, right? Alligator license, because if they don't, you guys actually kind of almost be overrun by alligators, right?
Yeah, in Florida, it's weird to get permits, but in Louisiana, they give them out. Well, they're pretty expensive still, but everybody gets them and then cashes in on them. But in Florida, it's actually like illegal to kill an alligator without the permit.
As the human grow more fucking stupid, they distance themselves from us.
But Alan made some good points over there because the Hoopa tribe, David Paulides wrote a book about the Hoopa project. And the Hoopa people, the tribe, lived with the Sasquatch for a good amount of time. And yeah, they traded techniques about medicine and gardening. And then one of the Sasquatch ended up assaulting one of the chief's daughters, and then they were banished to the mountains. And there's good stories like about the red-haired giants of the Lug Block Caves. And, of course, the story right here in my backyard, the Ocheesee Pond Wildman, the one that was captured in the 1800s by the Native Americans and Civil War veterans that had to come together and stop this creature after it was harassing women and children and trying to abduct them into the swamp and onto its own island. And there's still islands there that are rumored to have tombs of mummified Indians and soldiers. And I'm not talking, I'm not talking military soldiers. I'm talking battles of kings and queens, the mound builders back in the day. Wow.
No, you know how you're talking about how like Ewoks looks like Bigfoot,
Yeah,
even though
little
they're short.
Sasquatch.
Those
Yep.
those are Ewoks.
That's awesome. They're little puckwudgies too. I like that. That is awesome. Where'd you find that at?
Um, we got these and we went to the Star Wars bar in Star Wars Land in Disney a couple years ago. They have the Star Wars bar like they have where it looks like the one from Tatooine.
Yep.
The first Star Wars, and we bought these mixed drinks, and you got like souvenir, you get to keep it. But I always love these because when you mentioned they look like Bigfoot, I pulled these out of the my drawer and they actually do look like Bigfoot. They're just shorter. They got the sticks. They live in the trees. You can see the trees there.
Yeah, and they literally create villages in the trees, in the sky, underground. So yeah, I hope everybody kind of takes note on the Ewoks. All the Star Wars lore, guys. Look at Chewbacca.
Yeah.
He's a Sasquatch right there. But Eric's mentioned before that he was originally planned off being a dog, but I'm big on the Wookiees are the ancient ones, of course. There's a comic book with Han and Chewie landing in the Pacific Northwest and being hunted by Bigfoot hunters. So it goes back to all of that. Yoda and Grogu are, of course, like elves and fairy type creatures with special abilities, the Force. It's pretty wild when you just see through the lines and you see that every movie has it, like Jeepers Creepers, Quetzalcoatl, the Feathered Serpent. It's history repeats, guys.
I can't remember what this drink was called, but it was neat because, first of all, the Star Wars is the only place in Disneyland Park that you actually get alcohol in the park.
Wow.
But they did this where this had like this cream on top. And when they tell you when you drink it, watch out with your nose. Don't try to sniff it because this drink is kind of cool. It numbs your mouth.
Wow.
They try to make it like a Star Wars thing. I'm like, no, fuck no. It doesn't numb your mouth. Come on. So I started drinking it. By fucking God, it does numb your mouth. And apparently, right before I got inside, some people I guess some people left because they threw up because the guy actually got this cream in their nose and they breathed it in. Their whole nose got numb, and he threw up.
Wow, that's crazy. That's really cool. I want to try that if it makes your face numb.
Yeah, it really does. I was like, wow. I go that's cool. My face is numb. Oh, he wrote some more stuff here. He wrote some of the first modern-day sightings of Bigfoot and Yeti are Teddy Roosevelt Bigfoot and the expedition from 1832. Sir Edmund Hillary doubted the existence of Yeti and come back traumatized. And then also the Indian Army had brutal encounters with the unidentified giants humanoids where a lot of soldiers lost their lives to the savagery of the Yeti ambush.
Yeah, 100%. Alan knows he's in our Cryptids and Conspiracies research group on Instagram. If anybody wants to join that, definitely just reach out to me and Eric. We can pop you in there. We get into some crazy stuff, but usually it's just all of us trying to tell each other, check each other out, because that's what this paranormal community is about. We all have something to offer, and we can kind of better shape all of our minds if we just tap into all of it. So that's what I try to do. I try to learn from everybody and then really dive into the research side of like historical encounters, because it's awesome hearing what's going on today, but history repeats. So if you could tap into the past, you could see what happens to the future. Yeah.
And listen, guys, if any of you, Alan, Shaka Khan Na, Sharon Guy, Chocolate and Cheese, if any of you wants to come up here with us and talk some Bigfoot, let me know, and I'll throw the invite, in the chat, and if anybody's acting like a jackass, I'll just kick them out. But if any of you want to come up and talk about some Bigfoots, let us know. You have a good night laying down but listening. So, no problem. But Alan, if you're available, if you guys want to come on, do it. It's all this is free talk, people. This is free talk. This is why we're doing this. Now I'll ask you something now. Bigfoot. Now, we all know throughout history, Bigfoot's always been recorded way, way back then. But of course, like here's an article that when Bigfoot, I guess you could say, when the popularity of the Bigfoot got started, it's like a little clip. It's like a little clip that I play in the intro on my Gypsy Road channels where a guy says it doesn't matter what you do, it's when they write about you. That's what people remember, and it kind of sucks because so all that history that Bigfoot was talking about, Alan's talking about, it doesn't get mentioned that much because it really hasn't been written. It's sad. Now, according to this, it says in 1958, a journalist, Andrew Genzoli of the Humboldt Times, highlighted a fun and vicious letter from a reader about loggers in Northern California who discovered mysteriously large footprints. And this is not, that's boring. It does sound boring, but the reason I'm showing this is it's when journalism is finally actually like writing this stuff in normal news. And that's when people start to look into it. So in 1958, I'm not saying it's considered the origin of Bigfoot, but it's almost like an origin in newspapers. Finally, like the first social media in the world, newspapers, where like people got to read it from anywhere. Large footprints. Who made this? What is this? And according down here, when it says reporting the name loggers had given the so-called creatures who left tracks Bigfoot, and so the legend was born because they're always called Sasquatch. But when they found Bigfoots, boom, you got yourself a name. Now, your Sasquatch has always been a cool name, but Bigfoot kind of sounds sexier and cooler.
Yes, it's the California craze. That was the California name. Yes. 1958 was when Jerry Crew and his crew found tracks in California. It was right around, the same region as Bluff Creek and where Patty had her encounter. 1 second, my kitty cat's wants to be on the show. Playing with the battery. But yeah, they found the footprints in California in 1958. And then, 9 years later, they had the sighting with Patty. And of course, if anybody's ever heard me talk about that, of course it's authentic. She's 600 pounds. There's muscles. There's breasts. There's also rumors that she might have even been carrying a child in that footage. There is footage and a breakdown that she has a stick. So she was digging for something. I want everybody to look into the M.K. Davis conspiracy theories. I'll say that, but it's based on truth. So dive into it. A lot of people blacklist those ideas, but there's definitely something to it. Scott Carpenter, Bobby Short, just look into it, guys. But the one really cool tie is Carl Crew. He is the nephew of Jerry Crew, the guy that found this footprint back in the day. And then he's in the movie called Blood Diner, which is a 1980s horror movie that Eric probably watched when he was a young gentleman taking out ladies out into the drive-in theater.
Great. Hey, back in the 80s, drive-ins, they had rated R right on the big screens. Because I'll tell you something. I think it was 2001 Space Odyssey. I think they took us to the drive-in, and I was just a little kid. And no offense to 2001 Space Odyssey, as a kid, that movie's boring as shit. As a kid. I respect it now. But when you're a little kid, and on the other screen, right, they had Porkies, right? And they were doing the shower scene at the drive-in. I'm staring like, oh my God, there's naked girls.
That's awesome.
And the guy's sticking his ding-dong in the shower. I don't know if you guys seen Porky's. Porky's is one of the funniest,
raunchiest
high school movies you'll ever see. I mean, it's fucking just hilarious.
My boss loves Porky's because he came from Miami, and I'm pretty sure it's like a South Florida movie.
I love Porky's. And, you're a kid, you're like, 2001 Space Odyssey, okay. Not for a kid. Porky's, Not for a kid either. But
Not for a kid.
More interesting.
I've only watched 2001 Space Odyssey while I'm doing LSD, and it's like the craziest movie ever when you do that. It's like a rite of passage. Anybody into psychedelics, watch 2001 Space Odyssey, watch Trance with James McAvoy, Trance, and then also watch what was the other one? Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé. Three of the craziest movies that will really melt your mind.
If you guys really want a trip, I'm just, you didn't hear this from me, but I'm not saying go take a trip, but if you want to take a trip, acid trip, mushrooms, whatever, get the Wizard of Oz movie, and then get the album Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. On the third roar, press play on the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the album and watch The Wizard of Oz through Pink Floyd. Somehow, that movie magically lines up with the movie. And I'm serious, people. I know a lot of you think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Third roar, hit play. Where that famous scene where it goes color and they're walking the yellow brick road, the song Money comes on. So, I mean, things line up, and it's a good trip movie.
That's cool. That's a really cool combination. I may have heard something, of course, along the lines of that, but hearing the third roar when to start it, that's special, man. I appreciate that. And people might think we're goofing off about psychedelics, but guys, guess what the Native Americans were doing around the fire? They were tapping into the new electric fields in their brain, because all that does is open up new frequencies and airways in your brain. And of course, the curious ones are going to go check us out, because the last time they saw it was the Native Americans around the fire doing meditations, doing ceremonies, So open your mind, guys, of course.
Just open your mind. I was in high school. We made some shrooms into a tea form. And of course, we all take it. And then I was on the couch. It was a teak couch. It was like a wood, whatever. And the couch flipped over on top of me. And I actually thought the couch was eating me.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was fun. Like
That's
you
awesome.
said, I'm not saying you guys should go out and do that. None of that. But, I'm not going to lie to you, say, yeah, I was an innocent guy. We experimented with some stuff, and couch is eating you. Now, I was never into heavy stuff at all, but shrooms, I was always a fan of.
Oh yeah, psychedelics are cool. The heavy stuff.
Nature.
I want to be in it. That's why I do stuff. I want to be there even more. Some of the hard stuff kind of puts you away from the world, and I don't want to do that.
Now I'm gonna show you some of these pictures. I did this with Manimal Research when they came on.
Yeah.
I wanted to get their opinion on some of this. I never did these pictures with you. And of course, I want to get your opinion on what you know about these and what's your opinion of it. And like I said, I'm not here to disprove or approve, but it's kind of fun sometimes hearing people's opinions about different pictures here.
Definitely. I'm excited.
Everybody's already seen, but fuck it. Who cares?
I'm going to be on Manimal Research on Thursday as well. And I'm really excited to be on their show because I'm going to be at their camp out in September. So I got to make a good first impression.
I'll be watching.
First and foremost.
I've had Manimal Research on my channel 3 times. They're great. Those guys are great. They're down to earth. They're down to earth people, and I love that about them. They're just down to earth. And you go to their videos, they'll answer every question you have. We dissected their videos, and they're great. Now, this picture here, of course, is considered the crown jewel of all Bigfoot pictures. This is probably considered the most popular, unless I'm wrong. Somebody else might think other popular, but Manimal Research has said when they were on this channel that they consider this as the crown jewel of all Bigfoot pictures. Now, let me ask you, Connor, do you feel that, let me just ask you, do you think that's really is Bigfoot, or do you think that is somebody dressed up as a Bigfoot?
That's a female Bigfoot, 100%. She is ginormous, 600 to 800 pounds. You can see the sun going right off her gray-black skin. You can see her breast. She is giant. The way her legs and arms, the proportions, it's not human possible. She walks natural when you actually see the footage. And yeah, it's incredible. And there's actually been a lot of breakdowns that, yeah, there might be one crawling on her body right now, like a baby Bigfoot hiding on her right now. And then there's also ones that you could find in the background of there, like in the woods, in a couple of the shots of the footage. So it's really cool. But yes, that is 100% authentic Bigfoot, real Bigfoot. Planet of the Apes came out the next year, and the costumes looked nothing like that. And Disney already came out and said that they could not replicate that. The only way would be CGI, and they were not using CGI in that moment back then.
Yeah, I'm going to take this one off for a second.
And that's Bluff Creek, Patty, California. People still go down there now. It's the Patterson-Gimlin footage for anybody that doesn't know the specifics on it.
You can see him walk right here. The reason I'm doing this with the GIFs is because you could get away with it. If you actually try to play the real footage, whoever owns it, actually sometimes will strike your channel down. But
MK Davis has done a lot of breakdowns. He's a professional like video editor, analyst guy. But he has came to some conclusions. I'm just going to mention some of them that these hunters, the story that they reported is 2 cowboys went out after days of voyages. They captured this footage. But some people say that the Bigfoot damaged a lot of equipment when they were trying to log that area. So they sent a bunch of hunters up there and they killed one of her young, buried it. And then she was, that's why she got put on camera. And some people point to a wound on her leg, saying that she was shot.
Chocolate and cheese. I think this was 1967.
Yeah, it's 1967.
1967. Maybe so, but it bulged up on her right thigh.
Yep. Some people say it's a hernia on her right thigh, and some people say it's a gunshot. That's why she's kind of moving slow. She was already shot at that point, and she didn't live much longer.
I remember.
I hope I'm wrong, guys, but censorship is wrong, and there has been so many tales of this even before MK Davis. So, guys, get your head out of the sand and grow up.
One of the valuations that
not you, Flat Rock. You my boy, Flat Rock. You my boy. I'm I'm talking to everybody, like literally in the future that sees this. In 2025.
Well, when I saw a documentary, when they try to debunk, they had 2 sides. One of the people say you can't debunk because not right here, but let me see when he walks. When he turns his head, they're bringing this up that they had a person wear like a big suit like this, and the hardest part wasn't the walk part, but it was actually looking. See how he moves his head? They said the way he moved his head, it's too hard for a person to do it that quickly in a costume. I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. You know? I mean,
yeah,
it does look pretty tall.
I'm 100% certain that this is real footage. Like God strike me down tomorrow if it's not. So if I don't survive tomorrow, it's fake somehow. But if I do, it's real, guys.
Yeah. I mean, none of us. Honestly, none of us was actually there. But I mean,
but you can talk to someone that was there. Bob Gimlin, he still goes to conferences. He was just at a bunch of the conferences recently. So if anybody sees Bob Gimlin, don't hassle him about the massacre. The truth will come out for that. But you can just ask him good questions.
Well, if you think about it, okay, 1967. This is footage from 1967. It's not like nowadays where you can take any footage and you can change it any way you want, easy. You know, a 5-year-old kid can get on the computer. You know, back in those days, it wasn't like that. Not everybody worked in Hollywood, so I mean, when you get certain footages in a certain time place, and it's always been out there, not like, hey, I found some footage back in 1967. You know, that you can say, well, how come we never seen it before? But this has been shown way back then. And that shit is harder to try to fake because people have analyzed the film and says it was never messed with. So it does make you think like that could be the real deal.
Oh, 100%. I love how they used to show this footage before the Boggy Creek Monster, or the Boggy Creek Legend, whenever they would show that in theaters back in the day. Of course, that's what I always heard. I was maybe reincarnated as a freaking lobster back in those days. But yeah, that's Patty, man. That is authentic footage.
8mm footage. Yeah, probably.
And they say the Minnesota Iceman, that was a Bigfoot that they hauled around and toured around America. It's they say one of her.
Cowboy is 5'6" or 5'8". Patty is 7'2" or 7'4".
Yeah, she is big. And a lot of reports actually say the females are bigger than the males in a lot of the tribes. I just heard that on Bigfoot Odyssey, so that was pretty cool.
I can see that.
Yeah, because they have different body shapes, and a female has to hold babies, so of course she's going to be bigger. I'm big on. I think the females have pouches, just like some birds and kangaroos.
Well, we I know this is odd, but the penguins, okay. The penguins, the women lay the eggs, but they're not the ones who sit on the eggs. The men are the ones who sit on the eggs while the women go find food and stuff. The men take care of eggs. So what I'm just saying is we don't know this type of nature, what their habits are. Kangaroos have a pouch like you're talking about where they keep their young ones in. I mean, you don't know. You don't know. Maybe the women have the babies and the men watch them at the camp while the women go hunt.
Yeah, a lot of the reports are the women just stay back like a queen, and she just eats. She does nothing but have to eat and take care of the young. The man has to bring everything back home to the fortress.
Well, let's see. Let's go down to this one. We saw this one. So, of course, that's the crown jewel.
Love that.
Now, this one's called. Hold on. This is a youth group was camping in the Marble Mountains wilderness when leader Jim Mills noticed a strange-looking creature stalking along rightly nearby. He filmed it for nearly 7 minutes, making the somewhat grainy footage the longest video of alleged Bigfoot sighting.
Yep, the Marble Mountain Monster. And, of course, it's from far away, just like that, but literally 7 minutes of a giant creature up in the mountains, barefoot, somewhere where humans could not get in that terrain. So, yeah, I definitely think that's authentic footage, and it happens all the time. People have sightings every single day. There are thousands of sightings every single month reported to different agencies and websites and podcasts. And then, of course, add in all the native tales. Flat Rock Booger will tell you. Everybody go to Flat Rock Booger's channel. Flat Rock, we'll show you after. Eric, might as well just type in Flat Rock Booger real quick. Flat Rock has literally Bigfoot activity every single day on his property, guys. And he has a bunch of cameras and different techniques set up. And, yeah, man, people have everyday encounters with these creatures. That's what, they don't understand that people think it's so rare. No, the forest people are right outside, the giants, the fairies, they're right under our feet and in the densest parts of our forest.
What's interesting about this footage, you see him, you see Bigfoot walking there. His body looks like slanted, like the waist up, like a weird angle.
Yeah, it does. It's like, yeah, kind of like inverted. And yeah, they have really lanky
Instead of
arms
instead of
and
like
legs.
this, it's like it goes in. The stomach part goes in. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it kind of leans back and then
Yeah.
kind of like an S. It's weird.
It's like the head is matching the waist, but the back is bent back.
Yeah, a lot of them say that they don't have much of a neck and their head just sits right on their shoulders. The female, like Patty that you just saw, her head is clearly above her shoulders. That's how the female is. But the males, they're the ones that the shoulders are up with their heads. Like their head is literally beneath, like right with the shoulders. But Patty, her head is up above. That's probably why the females are a little bigger. But like, humans, everybody looks different. But guys, the most recent interview on Bigfoot Odyssey takes place like 30 minutes from here. And this guy started mind speaking with a young female Sasquatch. And then the female Sasquatch trusted him, brought him to the family members. And look at that, the Myakka skunk ape. I'm actually going to be going to Myakka next month with my dad. I am super excited. And then I'm going to Skunk Ape headquarters too. So I'm going to Tennessee at the beginning of the month, then the Everglades and Myakka Lettuce Lake.
Skunk Ape. Well, check that out. Never heard of them in appearance or sent by his video. Well, that's why we do the show.
Yes, that's the Skunk Ape right there. And you can see that he has some sharp teeth, some canines. And yes, they smell like skunks most of the time if they don't rip out the stink spray. But the first name originated from over here in the Panhandle, actually, kind of north of Pensacola, I'm pretty sure. But it was a huge black Sasquatch that had a white stripe that looked like a skunk. So that's why I named it the skunk ape. But best believe, guys, they're not apes. They are forest people. They're human hybrids. They might have some kind of, ape in them, but they're not little monkeys.
Well, he's got teeth like my English bulldog.
Yeah, he does. And there's two pictures that these came from. And these pictures were sent to the Sarasota police anonymously, coming from Myakka. So that's pretty wild. It's in central South Florida, and it is a dense swamp. Stay tuned to my channel next month, guys, because I can't wait to rock it down there.
That is awesome. Skink. Let me see here.
Okay. Skunk ape and the swamp ape, swamp thing, cabbage man, tribe man. There's tons of names for him.
Okay, so this here.
Oh yeah, the
Yeti explorer Eric Eo Shimpton snapped this photo while trekking through the Himalayas in 1951. Allegedly, the footprint belonged to a Yeti. In 2014, Christie Auction House in London capitalized on the worldwide interest in Bigfoot and sold the original photo for $5,000.
Yep. Look at that, guys. Those toes are crazy. That's a little bit different than the ones we find over here in North America. Way more wider, bulkier toes, kind of like Shrek, like an ogre. That would kind of be the Yeti. He has to have a little bit more fur and fat on them to survive the winters. In here in Florida, it's hot all year, so you just got to survive. Same thing with in the Arizona rim with the Mogollon monster and the big bear beasts in California, even Patty in California.
Well, Shelly, Shelly, in the past, I don't usually do night shows in the past. Usually, I spend it with the family and all that, but on Tuesdays, we've been doing 9 p.m. Pacific time for the last month or so. He worked. On Wednesday, he's off, so he's not. I don't know. Unless you're working tomorrow, hopefully I'm not.
No, I'm off. I'm off.
But so since he's off, but he works during the day, we do it at 9. So you be on it because who doesn't want Bigfoot on your channel, right? Who doesn't want this guy with energy? So that's why. We have been doing 9 o'clock shows, and I kind of like doing 9 o'clock here and there. It kind of mixes things up because 1 o'clock is cool, But not everybody's there. Sometimes some people are at work. They can't be there, and so maybe at nighttime, I notice that I get some people that I don't see during the day. So it's kind of cool. I get to see different people.
And War Talk has, the nighttime vibe too.
Look up Mandy Barong.
Yes.
Mandy Barong. Okay. I love that. Thank you, Mandy.
Alan knows his stuff, man. Guys, I posted our link for the StreamYard in our Instagram group. So Codeman or Alan, if you guys want to pop on, even just for a little bit, just to chop it up, definitely feel free. But yeah, I love this Yeti footprint because those feet and those toes are just so bulky and weird. I love it. It would be so scary to see. But if you're hiking in the Himalayan mountains, you definitely have to be prepared for something like that.
Okay, let me see here. Let me hit enter. Okay, so Mande Barong. Let me take this one off. We'll see what I have. Stop the screen. Start a new screen. Mande Barong. Mande Barong. These look like regular apes. Am I looking for
There was a couple of them kind of up top. Yeah, maybe that one next to the one guy in the red. That's kind of a good representation. It's kind of like a forest demon, just a smaller type Sasquatch. Just a different type of variation. A lot of people think he's like a bear man, which I love it.
It is kind of weird because when you look at it, it looks like he's got little white right there in the front. Like there's a nose, there's white on the left and right. And you see one arm down, then you see another arm like above the head. Like it's almost like a spider monkey.
It's like a humpback or something. Yeah, it's like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
And then...
I don't know if it's Taiwan or Thailand. I'm not sure which city this guy's from, but I've definitely heard of him. Indian, yeah, the Indian Bigfoot.
Hello, fellow paranormal.
Oh, here, let's see.
The Indians have tons of statues and ancient books and texts of these creatures. The Shiliite water, it's a hot water that the forest people, the Vanara people, Vana meaning forest, Nara meaning man or people. So the forest people gave this hot water to people to help heal them. It was super cool. And people started laying in these hot springs after they saw animals laying in the hot springs, and they were healing very fast. So I think Sasquatch passed his medicine to the Native Americans and to the Indians, to the Australians, to the Canadians, and all of the people.
Yeah. Now you were talking earlier how this is a different foot size shape, but that doesn't surprise me because this one is in the snow country, snow area. Just like if we were born on different continents, our body adapts to the weather. Our body adapts to warmer climate versus colder climate. If these Bigfoots here always lived, now where was this again? I can't remember what
the Himalayan mountains.
Himalayas mountains. I'm sure their foot is more designed to handle harder rocks and stuff than the mountains.
Oh, 100%. And he'd probably have to use them for climbing as well his whole life. So he would get some muscle. Our feet are in shoes most of their life. Okay. So it's really sad.
I want to ask you about this one video. Where is it? Right here. Is this it? Actually, I wanted to ask you about this one.
Yes.
That's a rock footprint.
Yeah, this is a right footprint that we found in the green swamp. Just like Joey said at the very beginning, it was hard to see, but this one's much easier to see, that one. And it was like 54 inches away from each other. I don't know if it's considered a stride because if it's 2 right feet, that wouldn't be a stride. But it's the gait, I'm pretty sure. But it's a pretty large creature just to be that heavy impression. But the foot is not that big. It's about the size of a size 13 barefoot, so it's not like a 20-inch print, but it's like a 12, 13-inch print, which is definitely a good-sized creature. Probably a teenage female, I'd say.
And like I said, I'm just asking these questions, because we're supposed to ask questions, trying to make sure that I'm not debunking, but I'm just asking, like when you see a footprints like that with a distance and all that, do you have like in a book like what's an average size foot for a bear? What's the average size foot for whatever kind of animals that's known to be in Florida? How do you try to dissect it to a point where you're comfortable to say, hey, this looks like it could be a foot?
Yeah, it's definitely harder, definitely in the green swamp than over here, because you guys see all that foliage on the ground. You have to have a keen eye for that. I'm over here in the mud and the beaches and the sand, so my footprints that I find in all the tracks and in the streams are a little bit more defined than this. But the second one that it shows in this was pretty well defined. But you could get fooled by maybe a double bear print. If they step in it twice, it could have somewhat of shape of a Sasquatch one, but mountain lions and really nothing other than a human footprint looks like a Sasquatch footprint, other than a double bear stand. But it could really be anything. Hunters could be out there. I don't think it was like naturally holes. I think we definitely found Sasquatch, because Tim recorded their pictures of them. He just recorded a 29-minute breakdown with multiple screenshots that he captured these creatures walking behind us, because he wears a back cam and then he holds the camera too. So he has two angles going at the same time. And of course the back cam is kind of, raggedy, but they don't expect it either. You'll catch them on weird angles. And it's truly remarkable.
And once
this was like 25 meters from a palm tree that was ripped, shredded apart, up to 20 feet long, up to 20 feet tall. So it was pretty cool. And Marie Dumont found the first track, and then Tim found the second track.
And then let me ask you: once you find the foots, do you guys try to see how far they go until you can't find any other foot? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and it's kind of weird, right? I'd be thinking when it stops. I mean, for any animals, you would think in theory the footprints, like a track, you could track it down. But I keep hearing stories from people that these footprints, they stop.
Yep.
And even if I think as a bear, I mean, unless that ground is softer and you're going to harder ground. I'm a hunter. I go in the mountains. There's different textures in the ground. Some ground you can put a dent. Some are heavier than you don't. But do you ever wonder how these footprints just stop if the texture of the ground's the same?
Yeah, I definitely know that these creatures can tap into other waveforms and frequencies. Protons, electrons, neutrons. We become particle form or wave form. Most of the time we're particle because we're solid form. But in those true moments of being, we can become waveform. So I think those Sasquatch creatures can tap into that waveform a lot easier. So yes, you'll find one trackway and then two, and then it will disappear. Or maybe you might get lucky and find like 9, and then it will just lead off into nowhere. So yeah, it's really mysterious how they just disappear, and it wants to stump you. But I don't really expect much. That's the thing. You're lucky to find one print. So finding 2 is awesome. And then you can just build on that. But one of the members that was hiking with us early in the expedition, the first print we found, she kind of was yelling at us because we kind of messed up the area. Well, we messed it up while we were scanning looking for footprints. So yes, we could have missed like a mild one, but I'm only looking for the concrete ones, but sadly it was a little too wet for us to cast. But Tim has casted six footprints in that area of Sasquatch, and they're truly remarkable. So hopefully next time I go out there, we'll actually get some plaster made so that I can come back and show you guys the details.
Typing in, he wants me to look up Hibagon footage. So I'm
Maybe
typing.
Yeah, either you could find it, and if you can't find it, he could put it in our Instagram.
Video image. Okay, so I got it here.
Yes.
Share screen. The Hibagon footage. Is this what? Is this it? Hibagon non-alien creature.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is Alan? Is that what you're talking about? You want us to look at?
I don't know if he's talking about the one that this kid like tracks like 20 Sasquatch footprints in snow, kind of like this. And then he gets to the wood line and he sees a creature and it chases after him. But all of them kind of blend together after a while. I've been searching for Bigfoot videos since the internet, since AOL days, since I was on AIM talking to Smarter Child, those fake robots back in the day. I would just ask it questions.
The one where he's crouched. The one where he's crouched.
You'll have to post it, Alan, in our group, brother.
The one in crouch. Hunt for Abominable Snowman.
Yeah, you might have to go on videos. I don't know though, dude. Google buries anything. I put no trust into Google or any of that crap.
Oh, on a river. So are you saying that I?
So we lost Gypsy Road Eric, and I have taken over the show. What's up, Horror Talk and Gypsy Road? What up, Dr. Wu? I don't know if we've mentioned you yet so far. Everybody.
I hit the wrong button. That was me. That was all my fault. Okay.
I hijacked it for a while.
Yeah. I was. I don't know what I did there. That was all me. But I mean, here's a crouch. I mean, actually, I a monkey right there.
It does look like it.
Hit and miss folklore.
I want to see a Wookiee movie. That would be so sick. You got to see a little bit.
Oh, you sent the link?
Solo.
Oh, you sent the link on your Instagram? Let's see here.
No, I don't know if he did. Did he? I asked him to if he has it, but Alan likes to just throw ideas out there.
Well, how about this? Let me do this.
He might not have the footage.
Alan, I tell you what.
Have the footage, homie.
Well, I'll do this. Alan, I'm giving you a wrench. Now you have a wrench. You can drop that link right here. So
cool.
I give you a wrench, so you drop that link right here, and then we can just pull it up, just like that.
Dope.
That makes it easy. And you said you trust him, so
yeah, Alan's dope. And like I said, Google buries the video, so you got to find it on Instagram or on TikTok, and then carry it over. Like you're never gonna find anything through YouTube.
Oh, he says that one, so I guess I got it.
Oh, nice, yeah. Well, that might just be a screenshot of him, but that's definitely cool.
That is.
And Alan is out there, I'm pretty sure, in the desert. Well, I know he lives in the desert, but I think he's in the Arizona area. So he has got the Mogollon monster and tons of other skinwalkers and crawlers.
So let me see here. Oh, he sent me the Japanese Bigfoot footage. Here, let me pull that out. Now, of course, I don't know if this company here allows, but here. Oh, okay. There it is.
Nice.
Here, let me start. Make the screen bigger. And now you can see it walking. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And, I could definitely see people saying it's a costume or something, but it looks kind of authentic. It looks eerie. The stomach is bulging. You never know with these overseas footage, We live in America.
Well, I mean, and you're supposed to ask questions. Right?
We have the
Because-
blinders over our
Because one of
eyes.
the first questions that I would ask is if that's really Bigfoot, right? Oh, sorry. If that's really Bigfoot, and if you got a camera right on him, that means you're standing on a position where he should be able to see you. Why isn't he seeing you? Why is he just doing his business? Or maybe that's what they do. I don't know. But that's like the first question I would ask. How come he's not noticing some weird guy holding a camera? Because I'm sure these creatures can smell very well, smell from far away. Do they smell trust? Do they smell like you're not a threat, maybe? I mean, it could be.
Right. There's possibilities are endless. I've seen other videos when there's like 20 tourists just with their footage, just videotaping one close up. It's like, where's the other footage? Like, where's the 25 other people's videos of that day? So yeah, it's pretty remarkable seeing stuff like that. I know there was footage from Russia when they had one caught in a cage and stuff like that. And there was Zana, of course, the ape lady that they had children with. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Taken by a fisherman. So okay,
and Al, I'm not questioning the video is not real. I'm curious. I mean,
yeah, honestly, taken by a fisherman makes it sound a little bit more believable. I appreciate the footage, Alan.
No, that is awesome. That's what I want. I want footages like that because then, because
it was eerie. The thing, it was a good costume if it was a costume, or it was definitely just a lost one. Like that thing did not care. It was just going through the water, kind of lazy. Maybe he was just casted out of his tribe.
Could be. But I mean, that's just like the first question I would ask. Like, why is he not caring that there's a guy there with the camera?
Right.
But okay, so
I love this video. This is the Independence Day footage. It's in a boulder field. People originally said it was in Colorado. I know there's been breakdowns recently, and people said it's a costume. But I'm still in the fence about it. I really love the footage. It shows a mother first gets spotted, and then she runs behind a boulder and picks up her little baby child, and then the child's head is moving. So I don't know how they would fake that unless it was like some kind of puppet and $1 million scam, but it's just not. It's not. I still remember when this first circulated, and it was really special times. And there's tons of Boulder Field stories, and this circulated before the Boulder Field rumors really circulated. So it all aligns, and you can see the baby's head move multiple times in the footage, and her head is like a cone head, just like Patty, just like all the other ones that have been released, like by Steve Isdall.
So they call it the Independence Day.
Yep.
And many skeptics claim that there is a telling visible scene of a gorilla suit. Where? I mean,
yeah, I think there's one part that the head turns and they say that the neck roll, you could tell it's a costume. I think Thinker Thunker does a breakdown on it. Yeah, I don't want to show it, but anybody can go check that out. I encourage both sides to be checked out. It's not make it or break it. I love the footage. I remember when it first came out. I'd definitely be sad if it was fake, but oh well, if it was. There's so much. They have bodies and DNA out there, guys. Like, the footage that gets put out to the public nowadays is altered by the establishment anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you could have the most real footage in the world, but if, like you said, military, anybody knows that it's real, they're gonna make it look like you're stupid and it's not real. I mean, it's just the way it is. What does it say? Utah Canyon footage is beautiful. Damn, there are Bigfoots all around the world. Oh, we believe it. We believe it. I mean, Bigfoot. I mean, Connor Show. His name is Bigfoot, ain't it? I mean, that's why we have him. He's a full, huge believer in the Bigfoot, and I'm a believer in Bigfoot. I've never seen one. I never was up close, but I know they do exist, and this is why I want to hear everybody different stories because Lewis, you're not going to get the truth from anybody else, from social media or nothing, unless somebody captures one where they can make money and put it on front page of newspapers. But beyond that, The truth is within real blue collar people like Connor himself, Donnie Miller. Told an amazing story on last Thursday when we did a Bigfoot movie show, and there was 2 hours. I mean, after 2 hours of the movie talk came on, and he just told us the most amazing Bigfoot stories. Where this guy, when he tells you the story, man, he tells you the story. I mean, the crickling of the grass, the surroundings. I mean, you can fucking picture the whole scene when he told that story. So Lewis, if you've never been to my channel before, watch the Bigfoot movie thing on Thursday. If you want to skip the movie part and just hear the story from Donnie, go straight to the 2 hour mark. Donnie jumps on and we go right into his stories. So just in case. So let's see here. Let's go to the next one here.
Wait, everybody check out Donnie Miller on Sasquatch Chronicles and Bigfoot Odyssey too. He has some pretty amazing stories, and yeah, his stories on our show were amazing as well. I got to hike with them 2 days ago, and it was like an extraordinary time in my life, and I can't wait to do it again.
And then this one here,
I think this is Provo Canyon.
It says here October 2012, a group of siblings hiking in Provo Canyon thought they spotted a bear in the woods and started filming. When a creature stood up on 2 legs, the hikers ran, abruptly ending the shaky video. A year later, the siblings launched a Kickstarter campaign to investigate other Utah Bigfoot sightings. And man, I'm telling you guys something. I love that. Kids get inspired. Those kind of Kickstarters, I'm all for those. If I knew about that in 2012, I would have donated, because I love it when young people says, you know what, we can't trust anybody else. Let's trust ourselves. Let's do a full investigation.
Yeah, the Provo Canyon footage is very cool. There was actually like a bunch of videos shot within a month on the same hillside. And the creature, it's caught in many different, it moves. It's 100% a giant being. And it did not care about being on footage. You can't really see its face that well, but you can see its whole body mass. It's incredible.
We can't trust natives. You can't trust natives because there's different natives all across the United States of America, of course, other parts of the world, all parts. And each native, each tribe, each different tribes all has a version of Bigfoot. Every single one of them, and if it was fake, right? Why would all these tribes have stories about Bigfoot? It's not like every tribe liked each other. There's tribes that they were enemies. They hated the other. It's not like there was social media where they had newspapers. Almost every single tribe had their own version of stories. And shit, I mean, like you said, it goes back to the 1800s, 1600s. It just, things didn't get recorded until we read that one about 1958 when for a newspaper wrote about that foot they found. I mean, it's until somebody writes about it, but
that's when Bigfoot, the craze came out. But they used to write about the wild man a lot. I've narrated over 200 newspaper articles talking about the wild man and giant bone excavation. So it was in the news, but it was never Bigfoot or Sasquatch, just because it was a wild man. They didn't know what to say. But yeah, then 1958 came around and Bigfoot, that term, and I love it. Bigfoot Anonymous, but it is like slander as well. It's like big dummy. Some of my parents' friends call me Big Fool. Like, yo, who's the fool? Like, I've seen DNA of these creatures, and like that's like someone telling me a deer doesn't exist. Like, you can't stand on that very long.
Yeah. Definitely. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I'll check out that streamer, I guess, after the show. Harry Henderson's. Harry thought of you earlier. Got a 4-pack of new beer. That's cool. I inspire someone to get beer. I'm cool. My friend called me. See, agree, Alan. See, let's go to the next one here. So this is
Alan. Make sure you check out Flat Rock Booger's channel. That's my dude. I'm going camping with Flat Rock next month, and I met him at the Florida Bigfoot Conference. He's an awesome MFer. He's from Alabama.
What is he called?
Flat Rock Booger, because boogers are Sasquatches, and he's from Flat Rock, Alabama, and he has Sasquatches on his property. He has great footage. He has some footage that's doing some numbers and finding Bigfoot. Not the TV show. He has found Bigfoot. Like literally, they have found him. Flat Rock Booger.
I just love the name. Let's see here. Let's see one of them.
See, 21 inches. That's huge. Dang, that's awesome. And you have to have a trained eye to see that. Luckily, when I was hiking in Florida, in the Florida Green Swamp where we had those videos, I was with tracker Tim T, and he's been tracking, for 50 years now, so he knew what to look for. And Flat Rock's an outdoorsman; he knows what to look for.
Now I'm gonna play dumb here. Okay, and I want to learn this. Now I see the yellow measuring tape. What part of it looks like a foot?
Well, I would say the heel is to the left of the screen.
The heel, okay.
Yep. And then so the toes would be to the right of the screen, and you could just see the indentation. It's definitely a big indentation. It's a little hard to see, but if you allow your eyes to see the outline, it starts to come together.
I mean, and we're watching it on video where he's there live, seeing it in more of a 3D vision than we could see it.
Right. Video never picks it up completely. 100%. I get to see him, right there.
And then, he's got a lot of massive solid black or squash. Yeah, he's got a lot of
and he magnifies it pretty well. He does good work.
Living with Bigfoot, great recordings of juvenile.
They literally come right to his wood line, and you can hear him walking on his deck in a couple of the videos. It's really crazy and eerie. He has them making some sounds too.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect location for Bigfoot.
100%.
A lot of good hiding spots.
They moved through that black blinds back there.
Now he says, living with Bigfoot, real Sasquatch caught on video. I'm trying to scan through it to see. Oh,
there he goes.
There it is. Let me go back. Let's go back here. We'll start in the beginning. Yeah. And then like he's doing.
And a lot of the time they just look like dark shadows. You can just find the outline because they literally have translucent hair that takes the color of what's behind it. The translucent ability, it's clear, it's green, it's black, it's brown, it's gray, it's white. It just takes the color of what's behind it. Flat Rock, the Bigfoot capital of Alabama. I like that. Everybody definitely subscribe to Flat Rock. That's pretty cool. Some kind of like orb or eye shine just moving.
Yeah, that white
That's pretty
thing
interesting.
right there beneath that, whatever that white thing is.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you hear the sound.
Yeah, let's go back. Hold on. Yeah.
That's cool.
Here.
Oh, it kind of sounds like a rooster or something. So that's natural, but that looks like a freaking UFO. a UFO or an orb or a fairy. That's pretty freaking cool. And we know that Sasquatch can, project orbs. I'm just not sure if that's the sky or maybe just the wood line, but that's really cool.
What does he say? There's a local chainsaw artist that carves statue sculptures of bears, mushrooms, eagles, owls, horses, most anything you can think of. He actually made a squatch. I love
10
that.
feet tall.
I love that because you got to be somewhat of a believer if you're gonna make something 10 feet out of a wood. If you don't believe in it, you're not gonna be making a Bigfoot. So that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see what else that list has. You see what your opinion are. So, did we say what this one was? In 2007, hunter Rick Jacobs captured some of the most famous Bigfoot images to date with a camera mounted to a tree in Pennsylvania, Allegheny National Forest. His camera also captured clear photos of bear cubs, offering evidence that the unidentified animals was not Yersin. But skeptics believe the animal is just a bear. Cichlid. A bear? That is not a freaking bear. I don't. No. I know. Yeah, there's sick bears, but that's like a bear going on a food. Is a vegetarian or something, or I don't know. That's like a bear on drugs where they drug addicts, they skinny themselves because they don't eat food.
Yeah.
That is not a bear.
That's not a bear at all. And like it says, he got video of a bear literally in the same spot, and it doesn't look anything like that. So that is definitely a Sasquatch. I remember seeing that in school back in the day when I would research Sasquatch. So that was one of the first good pictures that I saw. I always saw Patty, that one, and then the famous one with the hunter with it like hanging upside down, which I think that one's fake. But that was like the Holy Trinity. But I love that. You could see the light shining off its black and gray skin. And it's black and gray because it's burnt from the sun. Its whole life, it's in the sun.
Well, Harry, I mean, we've talked about that on our show, that some people believe that Bigfoot is interdimensional. And,
I think you're interdimensional, Harry. I think we all are, we're all just one breath away from being a wave particle. And when we're a spirit form, then we're definitely in the next dimension.
I mean, in weird theory, all we know that Bigfoots are part of the 411 missing people. They take people and they take them to wherever, to a Stargate. I mean, we truly don't know. If we had all the answers, we surely wouldn't be doing this. That's a bear from Skid Row. Good one. I like that. Didn't check the price, but smaller bears around 3 feet go for $300, $400. That's not bad. Must have been around $1,000, probably. Yeah. Sound was rooster. Yeah, we figured that out. The sound was a rooster because he wrote in the footage that white mark had no sound at all.
Yeah.
So even the guy who's filming it, he actually wrote it in the subtitles. There was no sound, which is kind of cool. That's really cool to make sure that is not a Bigfoot sound. UFO. That could have been a UFO.
It was, it was definitely a perfect disc, and it was like literally like on fire. It wasn't flames, but it was that perfect color that it was moving at high speed. That's incredible, Flat Rock. I love it. I can't wait till next month, bro. I'm really looking forward to it. Flat Rock hit me up and he's like, "Hey Connor, what site are you at?" Because he wanted to be my neighbor. So Flat Rock's the homie, man. I appreciate it.
Now this one is a footprint you can see here. This is locals in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, were baffled by a footprint measuring 17.75 inches found near a resident home in 1980. According to the Associated Press, the footprint coincided with reports of strange noise and strong but unusual odor, like bad smell in the area. Okay.
Yeah, that's a deformed foot. I like it, though. You can see its last 2 feet, or the pinky and the last other toe. They point outward because they've never been in a shoe before. but I definitely would be kind of scared of this deformed creature. It kind of looks like a troll more than a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But I like it. A troll or an orc, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't have to be, exactly from a Bigfoot, maybe a werewolf,
Mhm.
Some people say werewolves are actually Bigfoots, and, some people say Dogman is just a Bigfoot. I mean, or a Bigfoot, it's a werewolf. I mean, we truly don't know. But of course, werewolf are usually considered smaller than that kind of a feat, but
Yeah, and some of them have three, the 3-pawed, wolf kind of track, and it's just ginormous.
then
Here's the Freeman footage. Yeah, Paul
Yes.
Freeman got pretty good footage,
Yep.
and he follows it pretty well, and it just walks right across the opening. This is just a screenshot of it, but the footage is really good. And he's a brave fella. I forget the exact words, but he's like, "Oh, there he goes, there he goes." It's in the Blue Mountains. Very cool. The Freeman footage is so famous.
And
Definitely.
guys, find these footages. Find the video clips. Some of these video clips are actually owned by certain people, and sometimes you play too much clips, our show gets taken down, which it has happened once already.
Yeah, we can't get flagged again.
But in 1994, former U.S. Forest Paul Freeman claimed he saw a family of Bigfoots in Washington, Blue Mountains. The video is shaky and grainy, but has deemed the real deal by soul-style Bigfoot experts. Well, yeah. I mean, people gotta remember, people always say, how come cameras, you don't get a clearer picture? But first of all, you gotta remember you're seeing these creatures also from a distance. I mean, even I don't know, like here's my camera here. I have a pretty good Canon camera with the speaker right here and all that. But even if I have this on autofocus, when something is so far, you're not going to get a clear picture unless I'm looking at my wall. You know? And Bigfoots, these things aren't going to let you get that close. If you get that close, there's a reason why you're that close. And I don't know, I want to be that reason.
Yeah, for some reason, Freeman was granted access, man, because at the beginning of the footage, he's filming like a freaking 20-inch or a 16-inch track. And then he's talking about it, and then he keeps walking, and then he finds the creature. So, back in the day, there was a little less traffic in the woods. And yes, we are all energy flat rock. And some of us are accepted by the other side, and some of us won't know the other side till we're spirit form.
Yeah, we are energy. And we think a lot of paranormal. Every time you listen to paranormal stories, you always hear about energy. They draw energy from batteries because they need energy if they try to show you themselves, say a word. Everything is based on energy. Same. Yep. Vibrations, energy. Why not both?
And we're all just batteries of this world.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Matrix movie is about, where they're using humans as batteries. Nothing wrong with that. So let's see this next one here. This is Mississippi resident Josh Hitcliffe captured a video of a potential Bigfoot while hunting on his property in 2013. Afraid to go back to the woods, he posted the footage to YouTube asking for help to identify the animal or for the prankster to come forward.
Yep. This one's awesome. The Mississippi skunk ape. A lot of people say this one's fake too. But it's like crouching down and it's like ripping apart these tree branches, and you can tell it has some strong strength. And then it rises up, and the cameraman gets really scared. But yeah, some people say it's fake. I think it's pretty interesting because I've been in a swamp, and you don't go really knee deep or waist deep water with all the water moccasins and rattlesnakes out there and alligators. But some people will go to the next level for a hoax. But I don't know. It's just interesting footage. It's the Mississippi skunk ape. I love hearing skunk apes in other states other than Florida as well. So love it.
Paul Freeman was a great researcher.
He was, man. He definitely paved the way for a lot of us because he was boots on the ground, man. I can't stand a lot of these guys that are scared to even put their neck out, and they just are talk show hosts, you know? Come on. We're human beings first and then explorers.
Yeah. More talkers than doers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're
like we talk a lot, but guess what? We're out there doing it too, and that's the beauty of it.
And I love and respect great researchers.
Yep.
You know, for what kind of research that they do. I always bring this name up, but I don't care. One of my most favorite researchers has always been Ed Warren, the husband of Lorraine Warren, just because when that man investigates, he would write down and record pre and after. And what I mean by that, he would go to the place wherever the investigation is right away, talk to the police, talk to everybody, and get them on recording. So when the next day he's seeing people come out and say, "Oh no, I didn't see that. I saw this." Ed Warren, he comes out and says, "That's not true. This is what he really said." And that's what I love about great researchers. You know, they write down, they record everything they see right out the bat. And then when you see people make changes later on, you know there's truth to it, because if it was all fake, they would say all fake from the beginning. But you know when something's real is when they change the story. When they say, "Well, I woke up next morning, I thought I saw, but I guess I really didn't." No, fuck that. And great researchers know that. You document everything from the beginning. You know, I've heard a lot of people talk about how they do their Bigfoot hunts, paranormal hunts. I hear some people say, "Well, I go out there with nothing. I want to feel with nature. I want them to feel me." Okay, you could do that, but whatever you find, it's your word against theirs. So, you know, have a camera, have a book, have a pencil, write down everything. Kind of like what I saw your friend videos of Flat Rock Booger did a video with the tape. You know, have those footages. So one day you say, "Hey, look what I have." You know, it makes it harder for people to say it's all fake. Well, it is. Well, look at this one. Look at this one. Because out of 100 fakes, out of 100, there might be 13 of them that are real. You just got to know how to look. And the great researchers are the ones you know are telling the truth. Because first of all
it takes is one.
Connor, if you go on a Bigfoot hunt, Connor, you're not going to go out there and want to make shit up, because you want to be taken seriously. Because if you come out and fake something and people find out that you fake something, then your reputation is ruined.
Oh, for sure. My creation would be ruined. You know, what would be the point of God even wasting his time with me if I would just do that? You know, that's what's so sad about this community, because there is a lot of government shills that are undercover spies that are put into this industry just to plant wrong information. Mm-hmm. And then there's these gatekeepers that they're the higher ups, and they get money, you know, to keep the truth out. So yeah, we all have to speak our own truth and run with it. And yeah, I'm not really into hoaxes because there's enough crap out there, and I believe in karma. So I'm not trying to get killed by anything in the forest for pissing it off, you know, and make a joke of it.
I remember when Bob and I, we were on another channel, they were calling us government shells. And I'm sitting there like, man, where's my check? I want my check if I'm a government shell. And the only reason they said that because I had a different opinion of what they said, right? And it's like, we could have different opinions. It doesn't, if you have a different opinion, people, it doesn't mean you're a shell. It means you're asking questions. You're right. There are some hosts that don't want you to ask questions, or they don't want you to ask questions that don't line up with theirs. Mm-hmm. And they get threatened by it. So the best thing they do is they'll call you a shell, or they'll call you a troll. And it's just, I don't know. I love those people. You know, they're fun. Here's this one.
Someone told you were a government shell, like through the chat, or while you were live on their.
I had a guy. I made a video one day called the top 12 conspiracies. And we went through the list of what's considered conspiracies, and there was one subject about September 1/1, which is coming up. I'm not saying it the actual name because YouTube don't like you talking about it, and I call bullshit in some of the conspiracies that people say about it. I'm not saying none of the conspiracies are all 100% true, but I'm saying that half of the conspiracies they say about it are just false. I mean, because when something dramatic happens of any kind of a subject, stories get out of control. You know, it's like if I tell you something and there's 10 people with us and you tell that person, by the time it gets back to you, the total story is changed. And this person made a video, actually made a hit piece on me and saying, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's saying this and this. He's calling us all idiots. And I wasn't calling people idiots. What I'm just saying was, I believe there's some conspiracies within that day, but not all of it. Okay? Not all of it. Because you're not going to fucking tell me everybody in New York City was all behind it. You know what I mean? Everybody. I go, that's impossible. I'm sorry. You know? And I never said you don't have to believe in it. I'm just saying I don't believe in half of it. But they took it as like I was telling the whole truth community that they're all liars. No, I'm just saying I don't believe in all the conspiracies they're saying about it. I believe there's some, but not all. And instead of coming to me, and I know this guy. I knew this guy. Instead of coming to me, asking me my opinion why I think that, he made a video and called us government shells on like and then people went to my chat. I'm telling the truth. It was kind of sad, Connor, because about the very next couple of days, I had the Sasquatchers on my channel talking Bigfoot, and he sent all his people in my chat putting dislikes and saying, Eric, you're not a truther. I never said I was a truther. I'm not a truther, you know, and I feel so bad because Jennifer, who's like the leader of the Sasquatchers, sent me an email on the side saying, "Hey Eric, I noticed we got a lot of dislikes. I apologize to you that a lot of people didn't like us." I go, no. They love you, but there are some truth channels sent people to hit my channel, and this is true, Connor.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
because the Sasquatchers are so sweet, and for them to feel like insecure, like they did something.
Yeah, and I learned that day
that guy is a government shill. I'll say that loud and proud right now. He was trying to put that on you. No, he's a shill, man.
And that's when I learned that when people say they're open-minded, some people are not. They're only open-minded if you're open-minded the way they think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, you know, it'd be simple as a movie. Sometimes you might love a movie. I might not like it. I might hate it. It doesn't mean you're wrong. I'm right. That's opinion based. It's fuck. If we all knew the truth, we wouldn't be doing this.
It's sad. It sounded like he took a little bit like personal. He thought you were attacking him or something, and then he just erupted.
I never
you weren't.
said anybody's name. I was just saying there's no way that because this article is like the extreme conspiracies in it, the extreme. And I was just mentioning I don't believe half of the stuff that's in here. And like I said, some people take it wrong, but I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is.
See, I might believe a couple more of them on there than you know, but me and you aren't going to kill each other over it.
No, that's why they're called conspiracies, right? It's your opinion.
Yeah.
They're not all true, but and all that. You know, it's actually I don't know if you're gonna watch it this weekend. Hey guys, we're winding down a little bit. I don't need to show all the Bigfoot footage because every Tuesday we're gonna be talking Bigfoot, different footages, different videos. I'm excited this Friday. So I'm gonna go watch Suicide Squad on the big screen. And I just heard so much great things about it. And I can't wait to watch the new Suicide Squad on the big screen. Rated R. I mean, James Gunn, rated R. I'm so excited for it.
Do you know if it's coming out on streaming platforms? Is it going to be on HBO?
HBO owns it. So it's going to be streaming the same day at the theater on HBO Max.
Well, maybe I'll go see it in the theaters, but I have a projector, so no matter what, I'll get to see it on a big screen. But I would love to get to see that in theaters. I'm super pumped too because me and you, we are fans of the first Suicide Squad. It wasn't horrible. We didn't throw it in the trash. I can't wait to see how this builds on it because it's like kind of a revamp. It's not going to be the same movie.
I like the Joker Jay Little played. I like this Joker. It's just the ending. I didn't like the ending too much because it was like their own crew that they brung to a crew. Turns out to be, I wanted to fight, something totally different. But beyond that, I'm just excited because, last Friday, I didn't do a review on it. Last Friday, my wife and I, we actually went and saw Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
And, only, I didn't do, like I said, I didn't do a review on it, but, Jungle Cruise, I told my brother on air that the movie's made for kids. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, grown-ups could like it, but it's made for kids, and I want kids to watch it because
there was a lot of bad jokes in there, a lot of sexual jokes.
Yeah, but I want kids to watch it because it might be the thing that wants the kids to go out and do research, like go find clues and stuff. I thought they should have cut out 45 minutes of it. I thought it was a little bit too long, but like I said, it was made for kids. And like I said, there is a lot of jokes in it. The only thing I said to my brother, the only thing that was weird is you had the two biggest actors in the world right now. The Rock is the biggest actor in the world, guys. Believe it or not, he is. He's making the most money out of anybody. And Emily Blunt, Quiet Place, she's huge actors. It's weird that the CGI was decent, but it wasn't great. It's weird how Disney decides what movies get the most ultimate CGI, that like Star Wars and stuff, most unbelievable, and you make a movie called Jungle Cruise with The Rock and them, and you don't give them top-notch CGI. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know if the CGI was supposed to represent those olden days, so it wasn't supposed to be like super glam. Maybe. I don't know. I liked it though. It was cool because there was Middle Earth. It was literally Middle Earth, and the world's below our feet.
Magic tree.
And then immortality. Yeah, the tree of life, the fountain of youth. Literally all the stuff we talk about week in, week out. And there was some horror elements with the three men that got taken over by the Amazon, and they weren't able to leave, and they started growing things, kind of like the Swamp Thing. And then The Rock, he has a lot of conspiracies against him. He's literally said he eats children on freaking video. Literally within the first 5 minutes of the movie, he's like, we'll feed the children to the crocodiles. And the kid's like, what? He's like, yeah, they like children. Just code, man. I know if you're still watching, that was Reptilian right there. It just showed it right there. It's a Disney. Come on, guys. The kingdom, the dome above. It's all right there. Walt Disney was a crazy MFer.
Also known as Wood Booger.
Wood Booger. This is one picture of him. I bought this from Cliff Brackman at his table, and he signed it. I don't know if the lighting is very well, but that's a postcard. And then I took this picture in the Honey Island swamp, and if you see that eye in the middle, you can see the dark face, and that's pretty incredible. And I also took a picture of this weird, stinky carcass in the Honey Island swamp. And that's either a Rougarou or a kill of the Rougarou. But it also could be a space mutant because there's a space testing zone on the edge. And my dude Ninja Ronnie discovered this prehistoric bone. Could be a Sasquatch, could be a short-faced bear, giant sloth, or an extinct deer. But regardless, it's cool, and it has petrified characteristics to it, and you can see the arthritis. It's very cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. And like you said, you never know what you have, and even if you get evaluated, if they know what it really is, sometimes they might not even tell you because they don't want you to know that this is something unknown.
100%. I made a discovery the other day. It is crazy, guys. Found that.
Looks like a turtle in a way, the shell of a turtle, but that's not a turtle, right?
Yeah, it's ancient pottery. And
Wow.
then I also found this.
That's cool.
And I have videos of it, but for legal and educational purposes, entertainment purposes, it's all entertainment, guys. It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood. This isn't real life. This is comic books. It's Hollywood.
And then
The real ones know what I mean.
And then, guys, this Thursday, we are going to be talking about movies, but we're going to break down Fear Street, 1994, 1978, 1666. They're on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I know it's hard, but if you can, try to watch them in 2 days. Have this discussion with us because these movies, I think they're brilliant. I was so shocked that, Netflix movies, 1 out of 100 actually might be good, and that's a far stretch. And it's rare that all 3 movies were actually good because they make you think one way, then you find out it's not that one way, and it's really cool. And it's like an old-fashioned slasher in a way. There's sex in it, which is good old-fashioned rated R horror movies. You got to have that. You know what I mean, people. When 2 people have sex, someone's gonna die. I mean, that's just movies, right? That's the trend you gotta do. You gotta die. Yeah. And in this one, I'll tell you guys a little secret. You actually got 2 girls kissing in this one too.
That's
like, what?
That's sadly nothing new nowadays. Just because all these movies just push, the new movement, and people are free to feel however they want. Not to be programmed into feeling one certain way. So, guys, follow your heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love these movies. They're the R-rated R.L. Stein. R.L. Stein wrote Goosebumps, and it's kind of kids. Well, these are the R-rated R.L. Stein books that he wrote.
But I will say in this one, I know exactly what you're saying. A lot of movies are pushing certain genders on purpose, but in this one, it does mean something.
It does. It honestly does. Yeah. And the bad thing is now it's a little tainted because every other movie wants to make it all about Supergirl and Wonder Woman making out. Like what?
And I'm not making fun of it, but
those two. I don't know.
Well, remember Star Wars?
What happened to the family dynamic, guys? Come on,
remember
family.
Star Wars? Was it Star Wars Episode 9? Rise of Skywalker, when at the end they made sure you saw 2 girls kissing, and that was a pure push, and that was. And I'm not saying that shouldn't happen. Don't get me wrong, but if it doesn't fit the story a certain way, you're pushing your own agenda. And I mean, as long as you do it right, it's good. In this case, in this movie, it meant something. Why something has happened, so it was cool, isn't it? Isn't it past your bedtime? well, guys, Val, it's weird, Val. For the last month, him and I have been on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. for about 4 weeks now.
Yeah, maybe 6 or 8. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. I don't mind doing once a week, 9 o'clock.
Right.
So,
Wednesday comes fast. Atlantis is going to come tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, guys. So tomorrow's show on the Gypsy Road channel, we're going to talk about the lost Atlantis. Is it real? Is it fake? If it is real, where is it at? What's it about? What do we think? What's the theory? I mean, there's a lot of different stories about Atlantis. I mean, it was an energy town. They were from the future. They're from the past. I mean, there's so many different theories about it.
Aquaman
over here. Well, for me, guys, I'm on the West Coast, so it's only 10:52 for me.
Yeah, it's one here. So through the veil's in the eastern, I'm in the central, and you're in the western.
Laugh out loud. Where have I been? Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you could tap back in.
Well,
Drop a
Del,
sub through the
Del,
veil.
I'll tell you where you've been. For the first month, I only had this on the Horror Talk channel. And I decided to live stream it to Horror Talk and Gypsy Road channel. So it wasn't always on the Gypsy Road channel. It was mostly designated to Horror Talk. And I just thought, you know what? It's kind of funner to have more people in the chat along with us. So I decided to stream both. So Horror Talk still gets it, but it's also on the Gypsy Road channel. So that's probably why people are seeing it now. Because a lot of, no offense, a lot of people who watch my channel don't really like horror movies. So they don't really bounce to Horror Talk. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just trying to get into the algorithm, because YouTube buries the truth and puts up TikTok dances first and foremost. And it's like, I thought you had your own app. And we work hard for these 2-hour shows. And it's awesome, though, when it pays off. And it does every week because we're learning stuff, we're making friends, but we're making memories too. And if they don't shut the power off when there's a food shortage, hopefully we'll still be able to listen to these radio shows.
Hey, I know Paranormal Underworld. I told you anytime you want, we should do a Bridgewater Triangle Part 2. Hey, listen, if nighttime works best for you guys, next Tuesday, if you and Val wants to come on night, we could do a Bridgewater Triangle Part 2 because there's Bigfoots there, there's UFOs. If nighttime works better, I know because a lot of people work during the day, we could do a Bridgewater Part 2 next Tuesday. Just let me know.
For sure. The Horror Talk is going to expand into a little bit more things than horror movies. We'll talk about Bigfoot, Mothman, maybe some creepy pastas, maybe get even into like the best horror books. Like it's Horror Talk. So we got to talk about it all, not just movies, because we think outside the box over here.
Exactly. That's why on Tuesday I decided, since at night, we're going to have different topics like this, Bigfoots and all that. And then Thursdays, we'll do our movies and stuff and all that, break down the codes and all that.
Because the movies are a passion, Me and Eric watch movies every single day. I encourage everybody to follow me on Letterboxd. L-E-T-E lost my voice. Letterboxd. Letterboxd with a D at the end. And just search Bigfoot Anon. I just surpassed 5,000 followers on there, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm just trying to spread the word on all the movies I watch. I rate them out of 5 stars, and then I leave a couple of reviews. And it's really cool for myself just to be able to log the movies. I've logged over 2,200 movies I've watched, and that's probably, 85%, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, Paranormal World, if you work nights, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Wednesdays, I know a lot of times Bigfoot is off on Wednesday. Sometimes he jumps on a Wednesday. So if you want to do next Wednesday on a show during the day, I'm open to that too.
For sure.
That'd be cool. Hey, we love people jumping on because more conversations, more opinions. We want to hear everybody.
Yeah, we want to chop it up, and I want people, especially from my internet or my Instagram research team. The reason I post these StreamYards is for you guys to pop on here because I want to create a community of talking heads, of people with brains, with opinions. Like, Alan, I appreciate, you typing in the chat, but, we want this 4-headed monster, 3-headed creatures. Like, I want everybody to step up to the plate, and get ballsy. Like, tell your story. Like, even if you gotta, stop it. Like, if you gotta do it like this, like, I'm Connor and I'm Bigfoot Anonymous. Like, whatever works, get your story out there. My story is, house shark. Beware.
Damn straight. Remember, guys, this is the link is already up for tomorrow's right here. You know,
and Eric, please watch Mud Fossil University. Anything on Atlantis through there. He has found the eye of Atlantis in the desert, and he can literally like pinpoint it. The guy from Mud Fossil University. It's really cool. While I got it in my hand, guys, if anybody likes what I'm putting down, please check out Erie Swamps Road Trip to Eden. It's available on Amazon. It is very cool. It's my journey from Lake Erie down to the Florida swamps. Last chapter, Road Trip to Eden, Garden of Eden. 27 of the 28 trees in the Bible. Gopher wood, which is also what Noah used to build Ark. It's also known as Torreya. Only place it grows is right here in the world. Delta that breaks into 4 rivers right here. So, guys, it's sacred soil. There's many adaptations of Eden, Atlantis, and the land before time. We have to tap into it.
You work out because I put my what? You don't think what Harry? Well, you don't think I'm really Aquaman? Maybe I am Aquaman. You never know. But beyond that, guys, I know everybody's tired. Everybody's got to get to bed, get up early, and all that. And like I said, if you guys are around tomorrow, jump to the Gypsy Road channel. We're gonna talk. Not just. You guys know the fucking how it works. We'll talk about any fucking thing. We can be on one subject and we go off on a total different subject. That's what I like because it's pure 100% raw. And for some of you who said in here, I think some of you wrote, glad I subscribed to this podcast. I'm glad you are too, because Flat Rock, one of the things you'll notice on my channel is we have different topics for every show. We talk about everything. We never try to say we know everything, but we bring up topics. My brother and I, we don't even talk about the topics. He'll see the link. So when we come on, we have different opinions because we never discuss it beforehand. I want to hear what he says raw. He wants to hear what I say raw. We might not always agree on it, but that's what makes a better show. It's pure honesty. Yep. So we don't study. We don't research. I mean, hold on. We research, but we don't research with each other.
Together, yeah. It's independent, and then you come together, and then everybody is there for the teamwork and then the conclusion. So it's honestly a beautiful formula. And being on the side of it, seeing Eric and his brother Dr. Wu work together, it's amazing. They grew up at Yosemite, lived near the Fresno Nightcrawlers, served our country in the military, been all around the world and back, and then have done crazy stuff in the past decade in this paranormal game. And then Eric knows his movies like the back of his hand, and then Bob just knows the back of the world like the back of his butt or something crazy, Can't even put a definition on that guy.
He loves to read. I mean, he reads everything. He reads, studies everything. I mean, that was his thing.
He's one of the wisest guys I've ever known.
He just didn't read like I don't know shit about the Bible, but he actually does because he read like all different versions of a Bible. Now, like I said, I never read a Bible, but that's what he does. He went to college for archaeologist. He actually did some archaeology for the school at some other countries and stayed in tents and all that, like you see in movies and all that. He's actually done a lot of that stuff. So when people always say that, look at these undereducated people, I'm like, dude, he's got a bachelor degree, and I got a bachelor degree in networking. So, you can say all you want. We're just not two stupid people. And then Bigfoot comes in with that fresh view, and I love it because he's younger than us, but I get to hear what younger people think what's going on out there, because there's a difference between what some other age group thinks and what some younger age groups. And when Bigfoot comes on our show, we get to hear what everybody thinks. And that's just a bonus.
100%. You get to see the different generations and different angles, especially just from how we grew up. You guys are from the West Coast. I'm from the East Coast. My cat's from the Mexican restaurant down the street and wants to be on the show, so she's doing the kitty litter right in the finale of the show,
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, guys, beyond that, I'll let everybody go to bed, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. Woo, I'm hungry, too.
Oh.